This is Doreen McCaffrey from Holistic Wellness from Within, and thank you so much for listening. I have a very important message I want to share with you, whether you're a new client or a returning client, because I'm really beginning to change the way I work with mineral balancing, and it needs to align with my personal beliefs and the compassion and empathy that I feel for others. And I need to make some changes. So I first of all want to talk about, and I have this slide up because I want you to understand that healing is not linear. It's very important for you to understand as I work through this information with you that you will see ups and downs on this journey. It's not a straight line. But when I was trained by a very harsh kind of method, which was very the patterns that we were taught were very accurate. I still use those patterns, but the definition of the patterns and what they meant, what they were telling us about ourselves, were not really very accurate. So, in other words, how I got to what the pattern was is still correct, but the meaning of some of those patterns needs to be better explained in a way that includes compassion and love and empathy. And listen, I'm a yoga teacher. I was a yoga teacher before I started this work. So it was hard for me to listen to even things about my report that would upset me greatly and make me many times, even especially as I retested, feel shamed about the information I was getting back on my tests. Like, well, what did I do? Why did this look worse? Or why does this not look the way I want it to? And especially because I see so many reports, I often felt so troubled that I felt like my report didn't look as well as a lot of other people's reports. And I knew in my heart that I should never, never, none of us should compare our report with anybody else. We shouldn't be comparing our bodies, how we're healing, where we're at, what our journey looks like with someone else's journey. So that's a really important part of being on this journey. But what I really started to learn, and I'm working with a new group of practitioners, and we're all kind of adapting this new way of working with HTMA and mineral balancing. And that is to do it from a point of compassion. Whenever we see patterns on your test, whether you're new or whether you're retesting, it's a sign of adaptation. Now, I was always taught, well, you don't want to live in adaptation. You don't want, for example, your body to use metals to run systems of the body when it really needs a mineral. It will do that. And once you start to give it the mineral it needs, it then will detox that metal and get rid of the adaptation. So yes, over time, we want to get rid of many adaptations and always work to do and adjust that. But an adaptation is your body's way of surviving. It's all about survival. The reason you adapt is because if you didn't, you wouldn't be here. You have to adapt, and your body has to adapt to whatever it has, and that's how it continues to function. Yes, mineral balancing is going to work to help you get rid of adaptation and function more effectively. But on the journey, it is going to adapt, even on the journey from time to time. It will go into slow oxidation because you need to rest more. It will move into a calcium shell because it is protecting you from too much stress. It will move into four lows because it is protecting you from further depletion. These are not necessarily bad things. So I have redesigned how I look at things and how I review things and how I think about things. And more importantly, not just how I tell myself my own personal story of where I'm moving, but how I share this information with my clients. Because listen, many clients, I'm one of these, we don't even like to go to a doctor because we don't want to know, we don't want to hear, we don't want to get these horrible diagnoses that many times are even wrong. I don't want you to stay away from hair mineral analysis because you're afraid of the information that's coming back. This is information that we're going to use, that I'm going to use to guide you on a journey. It is not information to give you a report card to tell you that you failed, to tell you that you're gonna die or you're in some kind of death pattern. I was told that before. It's not for those reasons. Those adaptations are there for a reason. And if you look at the positive reason you have an adaptation, then you can help somebody understand that and even appreciate it, and then gently work to come out of it. And in the meantime, their healing is not, my healing is not, no one's healing is linear. It's going to go up and down. So it's always been a challenge for me when I get a report back that looks as if all the patterns I were taught that are bad have increased. How do you share that with someone? Well, first of all those patterns aren't bad. They aren't. They are simply not bad. There are signs that your body is surviving. And thank your body for that. Be grateful that it knows how to survive and it knows how to adapt. And then let's work together to slowly remove the adaptation that you need or needed at that time. It's really a good time. I actually just sent my hair in, so I'm looking forward to getting my results back. It's really a good time to think about, what was I going through between now and my last hair analysis? And hopefully you're testing on time, so it's not that big of a gap. And you can say, oh, I can understand why that adaptation happened. Maybe you went through a big life event, a divorce, a death. Maybe it was just a lot of stress at work. Anything at all. You can look back and think about what might have come your way or what you might have dwelt on that you can change, and the things that might have caused you to adapt or need to adapt for survival purposes. So let's come together to work on HTMA from a place of compassion, of love, of gratitude that we're healing, not a place of shame. It's not a report card. I'm not giving you a report card. Yes, I'm here to gently nudge you into maybe getting you back on track a bit. This is not about creating shame or blaming someone because their report doesn't look as well as their last one or whatever. This has happened, and a lot of practitioners do these things, even unintentionally, because this is how they were trained. I know I was trained that way. I don't use that approach, and I haven't been for a long time, but I'm really focusing on honing in even more on the approach of using love, compassion, and gratitude to work with you, my client. I love each of you. I want only the best of you, and I really encourage you to work with me to get your first test or a retest. And if you've fallen off the program, and a lot of it is because of any of those things I just shared, because they can be very upsetting, let's come back together and work together to create a healthier you, to give you a body that can heal, and to help you come to an awesome place of healing and wellness. Thanks so much for listening to this video, and please contact me if you have any questions whatsoever.